But it wasn't all good and dandy under his regime, and many of you have responded to our stories and the tributes that we have aired, and we have listened, because former President Daniel Arap Moi was not celebrated across the board. The longest-serving president of Kenya was described by some as a dictator who firmly dealt with divergent voices. The man, who was a churchgoer and supporter of many social projects, has also been described as one who preached water but drank wine. NTV's senior political reporter Kennedy Mureithi tells of stories of politicians who suffered his wrath none the less than Koigi Wamwere, who also we shared some of his views earlier yesterday, and here now is that piece.
Former President Daniel Toroitich Arap Moi was loved and loathed in equal measure. There are those who constantly sang his praises, but there are those who believe he was evil.
Moi alifanya makosa alipokuwa president wa nchi. Watu wakapoteza haki zao za human rights. Mimi nikafungwa jela bure, na mambo hayo ni lazima yasemwe hata kama ni wakati huu wa maombolezi.
Kimani Wanyoike served as a member of parliament for then Nyandarua South constituency between 1978 and 1988 and education minister in the Moi regime. His bitterness towards the now demised former president is still tangible. He says he always looked forward to an apology for his wrongful incarceration.
Kwenda Amerika kuhudhuria ceremony graduation ya kijana yangu. Nikirudi nyumbani nikasema nitembelee rafiki zangu Koigi Wamwere akiwa Norway na Kimani Ngumba akiwa Denmark. Na nikaenda tukakaa nao kama siku 2-3, tukazungumza, nikafurahi, nikawajulisha hali ilivyo katika Kenya, maana wao sasa walikuwa ugenini, wametoroka nchi kwa sababu ya hali mbaya ya serikali ya Moi. Kurudi Kenya, nikashikwa, nikaingizwa katika Nyati House, nikakaa kule muda wa siku 28, nikapelekwa kotini, nikafungwa. Ati mimi sikutaja, nilijua ya kwamba kuna serikali inaangushwa na sikutaja mambo hayo.
His is a story shared by other victims of President Moi's iron fist rule, who believe he has left without having properly apologized for what he did to them and the pain their families went through as they spent long, cold days and nights in detention.
I think Moi got so much power that at some point he must have, thought that he was just as powerful as God was.
Koigi Wamwere was considered a thorn in Moi's flesh as he stood against his regime, which was considered oppressive. He, along 6 others, were referred to as the 7 bearded sisters by then Attorney General Charles Njonjo. They became marked men for speaking against Moi and his regime, thus being forced into exile. The other bearded sisters were MPs Abuya of Kitutu East, Onyango Midika of Nyando, which is now Muhoroni, Mwashengu wa Mwachofi of Wundanyi, James Orengo, who is now the Siaya Senator, Lawrence Sifuna of Bumula, Chibule Watsuma of Kaloleni, and Koigi Wamwere of Nakuru North, which is now Subukia.
We were being targeted as the 7 bearded sisters, and instead of cabinet, actually they were thinking of how we could be dispersed, and dispersed we were after the attempted coup.
His tenure also saw the detention of ODM party leader Raila Odinga after the 1982 coup, the banning of the Mwakenya group, one associated with the clamor for multipartyism, forced disappearances, maiming of student leaders, the 1 o'clock firing of cabinet ministers, which were among the famed roadside declarations, and incarcerations of voices that dared speak against his rule.
God has a way of giving these people, some of these people, long life, so that they can repent and see right governance when they are not in charge.
He was to me the emperor whom people could not say was naked, were naked.
The day has also seen social media platforms such as Twitter having the hashtag #GoToHellMoi trending, as various Kenyans wrote to decry what they felt was an oppressive regime under the man who ruled Kenya for 24 years. Kennedy Mureithi, NTV.